So now I have the pleasure of sitting with, once again, Bernadette Brennan, who is the Director of Commercial Real Estate for Serhant. Bernadette,
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, Mike.
I think this is our third time.
Third time's a charm.
Correct. That is what they say. So now you've been doing some pretty amazing things in the year of 2025. Tell us what's new.
What's new? We have listed a little over $100 million worth of new listings for sale in the last 2 months. So we've been very busy bringing properties to market, fielding offers, and really outreach. Our outreach game, I think, is so on point for our sellers right now. Just getting to end users, investors. There's not a stone that we are leaving unturned for any of our listings right now. So that's been really taking up a lot of our time, but also creating a lot of deal flow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now something we touched on offline is Midtown Manhattan. Tell me what's going on. What's going on with the market there?
I don't know if you've seen, but we have an assemblage there that we've listed. So I've listed 4 buildings in a row on Restaurant Row, which is kind of like the Little Italy of Midtown. It's where all restaurants from around the world want to debut. There's the Yum Yum Bangkok building at 692 9th Avenue, and then there's the next building, which is Palermo Steakhouse, followed by Jasmine's Cuisine, and then the Ritz nightclub, which you might remember I sold last year, and we've repositioned for a sale this year.
Excellent.
Yeah, so Midtown is really right now, it's trending upward, although most people aren't talking about it, because you could still get in at a good rate. Everybody wants to be downtown, and people really forget about Midtown, but it really is like the hub of Manhattan. Your steps from transportation, Broadway, theater district, restaurants, shopping. It's so centric that because everyone's trying to get that deal in Tribeca, those deals in Midtown right now can be had cheaper, and it's the same cap rate. So we're seeing a lot of action there. We're excited to expand in that neighborhood.
So now when it comes down to those particular industries and locations, what's the average turnaround time on a listing for something like that?
It really depends, honestly. I've had stuff that's taken a year to trade, and then it traded at a very high number, actually market record numbers. And then I've had things like, one of our properties that happened to be in Midtown. We got an offer in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it looks like we're about to accept it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, which sometimes, things don't always happen the way you think they're going to happen. I really thought that property was going to be one of our hardest to transact, but I see people wanting something that's different, that's not just a traditional multifamily. They want to have like some creativity, some edge, something else, some value add that they could do to it. So I would say the average time is probably somewhere around between 5 and 7 months if it's priced properly.
Okay. Right, as long as it's priced right.
Yeah.
Right? Just like anything else, just like the residential. And so now as far as when we did speak last, one of the things that you were doing an amazing job of was taking some of the residential agents, and now they were starting to get their claws in some of the commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Tell us how that's been going.
Oh, it's interesting. We were just running numbers on that. We've signed $1.7 billion in residential lead flow, if you can imagine.
It's a big number.
It's a big number. Thank gosh for Catherine, who's been accounting all of it. But when we tallied it, I was shocked, like honestly shocked. Because, you do deals, you keep moving, you do deals, you keep moving. I never really looked at it in its whole package. Seeing the amount of deal flow that we've done, we've also traded, I think, maybe 350 million of that deal flow already. So the residential brokers and our partnership is something that I never saw coming in this way. That has been really awesome and magnificent to watch. And it also gives residential agents an edge, and they now have something else that they could do, and it's fun for them, and they get to get their feet wet and be part of something bigger and cooler. And honestly, who doesn't want that big commission at the end? So that's super fun to be part of. And I enjoy mentoring people, so it's been a fun process for that as well.
So does the trend also continue from commercial agents who then want to kind of dive into residential?
I haven't seen that. There, when you get used to those bigger commercial numbers and deal flow, sometimes, although, in residential too, I mean, our company's selling $40-50 million mansions on the water. So there's something for everyone. I haven't seen that, but we're still, we're lean in the commercial group. So there's only a handful of us really doing it at Serhant, but we shall see if anybody wants to make the reverse switch.
And I've noticed that the Serhant family has been really increasing their presence in the state of Florida.
Oh, yes, yes. Big news for Florida, commercial coming
Oh, okay,
soon.
okay. Breaking news, breaking news.
We shall see. Yeah, we've been starting to inch out there. There's a couple other groups that are starting to play around in that space as well. We have, some big news that we're not yet ready to share, but, listen, I'm a mom. As you know, my brand is Mom Boss. And I just did the Commercial Observer last week out there. I hosted their keynote with Mickey Neftali, and I'm hosting next week Real Deal there. And everyone keeps saying, like, oh, since you're a mom, like, we didn't think you could come to Florida. And I was like, the second you asked me, I booked my flight because I'm a mom in cold New York. So I will be going out there and taking my mom breaks. That's, like, been so fun for me. Just being able to spread my wings and honestly, like, not have to do, like, breakfast and lunches for a few days is also
Sure.
fun. Yeah, so we're excited for the growth. And I think we just expanded in Rhode Island. There's a few other key markets that we're coming into that we're about to release. We're now in the DMV. We have North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Florida, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Yeah, we're really growing.
That's awesome. So one of the cool things too, with a lot of your fans is just you're always posting about the personal accomplishments, your family. I mean, I love going away. Every few months I'm away, and I noticed that you enjoy going away too. So how do you manage the family balance and the work balance? Because we all know that your phone and your business and your
Yeah.
clients, that never stops.
Yeah, it's hard. And, I wasn't doing it for a while. I was just staying really local, focusing on the kids and my listings here. But I enjoy traveling. I am an entrepreneur by nature. I like doing things that challenge my mind and I like growing. So that opportunity is in other markets. And I kept keeping myself back because I'm a mom and not traveling for those reasons. And then I recently realized it's actually making me a better mother to have a few days by myself to just decompress, think, be with myself. I started sometimes calling myself like the angry chopper because I just felt like, how many more meals can I make while I'm on these calls? So getting even 48 hours, 72 hours to just like jump into something different brings me back. And when I'm back, it's like I'm more excited, I'm more happy, it's newer, it's not so mundane. And really, like, I rely a lot on my mom. So if you're watching, please return my text about watching the kids next week for Real Deal. But yeah, you
Good
do.
old mom.
Good old
Good old
mom.
mom.
You got to make it work. And one thing I'm learning too is like, they will survive. They might not have the 5-course lunch that I pack, but there is school lunch and they can eat it.
It is edible, I guess you could say.
I guess it depends who you ask. Some of the kids like it. My daughter is like, this is really not good. But, they will survive. So I think you have to just give yourself a little bit of grace to allow yourself to do things you like in life too. Yesterday I went live on the New York Stock Exchange. My daughter was homesick. I was like, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? And it all worked out. But I sent her the video when I got off and she was like, oh my God, like this is my mom doing this. So I think it's important too for kids to see their parents not only chopping vegetables, but doing something that they're passionate about that they love,
So in the future, speaking of the kiddies, any maybe real estate interests in any of the kiddies, or too young at this point, or maybe someday?
We have hope. We'll say my daughter used to want to do real estate. Now she wants to be performing arts. And my son, he's only 6, but I'm going to try to talk him into it. Listen, I love real estate because it does allow you to be a parent and it does allow you to have that back and forth, not always be in a 9 to 5. And, right now I have a 3:30 interview that I'm going to go leave and pick up my daughter. If I was in a 9 to 5, I couldn't leave at 4,
Right.
So there's pluses and minuses, but we hope that they're going to maybe follow my footsteps.
So as far as when it comes down to 2025, what's the biggest accomplishment for you year to date right now? I know there's many, so try and narrow it down.
To be honest, I think I've come to a space within myself about what I'm building. So I think in the last few years, there was a lot of touch and go about, is this the right move? Is this the right decision? Is this going to be supported? Is this what the market wants? A lot of those. Lately, I've been just very focused on what I believe is my next step and kind of like tuning out the noise, I would say. And realizing sometimes, things don't work out always the way you want, but sometimes even better. So my biggest takeaway for this year is to hunker down and focus on what I'm building and work to not get so distracted with all the million other things that are happening. So 2026 is going to be a big year.
Awesome, awesome. Now, is there a nice solidified goal for you for 2026?
Just global commercial world takeover.
I think you have some really good momentum.
Thank you.
That's just been just a great gravitational force around you that you work hard. And I think one of the big things that separates you from a lot of other commercial agents that I've met is the risk and the opportunities. That's where a lot of people have doubts, right?
Yeah.
It's human nature. We all live in that kind of little like element of fear sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And with you, it just kind of like you get this positive energy that comes off of just like whatever you put your mind to, you're just willing to take that step forward.
Yeah, it is risky, and there are people that are very nervous. And I remember when I sold the Ritz last year, people were like, "You're never going to get 5.8. This is a tough market. This is this. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Not even worth 4." Well, guess what? We traded at 5.8. Guess what? We just listed it for 6.8. Guess you just got a very lovely offer. So, but I've been being told all year that it's never going to happen for me with this property, and I'm of the mindset it only takes one. Right? So you can tell me no, and that's fine. It's not for you. But I'll find the next guy who it's for. So I think also just not allowing the market and people's noise to beat you down. Everyone will tell you why you can't do something. And then sometimes you just got to show them. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, look what she's doing. And I'm like, you're the one who told me not to do that.
Right.
So, you have to go with it. But also, risk versus reward. The rewards are big on these bigger deals and even on the smaller ones. I'm getting sometimes 6% on commercial exclusives, which is sometimes one would argue unheard of. And then you're doing a direct deal. This is retirement money you're talking about now. So getting into that space of realizing, yeah, there's a lot of risk, but there's also a lot of reward. I'll go with that all day long.
You brought up a key word as far as when it comes to financing. So seller financing.
Yeah.
Have you been seeing an uptick in that?
So interesting you say that. Yes. Almost every one of my deals right now that is in front of me is looking for a portion or a component. And most of my sellers right now, if they want to trade, are like, yes, let's get creative. Let's do it. Bring me an offer and I will get this deal done. So it's not always the majority of it, but
I'm sure the interest rate environment obviously weighs a big portion in that.
That's what it is. So on, I want to say 589 11th Avenue, we did a deal and we had an interest rate that was very unfavorable. So we did do seller financing, and then he came down in his interest rate, so that balanced the high rate of the bank. Seeing a lot of that, or also seeing something might have praised for 5.8 and the bank is going to lend on 5.8, but guess what? Your girl's getting 6.8. Who's going to do that extra million? So that's where also the seller financing comes in. It's a creative way to do deals and save money for the buyers that are coming in this interest environment.
So for the real estate agents who want to reach out to you, they want to construct a deal to investors, how can they find you?
You can go to MomBossNYC, which is my Instagram handle. You can send me an email, Bernadette@Serhant.com, or you can go to the Serhant website and find us there.
Awesome. Bernadette, thank you for your time
It's always
today.
a pleasure.
As
Thanks,
always, dear.
Mike.